Good morning and welcome back to another cycling training vlog, and I am one bloody miserable cyclist this morning. It's gale force winds, it has been absolutely beeping it down, and for the last 2 hours of this ride I've been thinking, why didn't I just pick an indoors sport, an indoors hobby, so I don't get absolutely soaked? And that was probably the most inspiring start to a YouTube video ever. But I'm out now, I'm wet. Well, actually, this jacket is ripping, it is awesome. Per Lazumi, smashed it. But the plan was, I was gonna get a couple of hours in, meet up with the Mossa boys on the mountain bike. But it looks like they are understandably bailing. But I'm committed, and I'm gonna get the 4 hours I've got planned today. I'm not exactly tanking it, but I've seen the messages pop up on my Wahoo and I can't get to my phone, and I'm relying on one last rider still being there at the meet point, so I may not have to slog this out on my own. No sign of Lee yet. Looks like I might be the only nutter to brave these conditions today. Oh, he's pulled through. I knew he'd be here. Is it just the two of us now? Just the two of us. The school of hard nuts. the rest of Mossa, disappointing. The heavens have truly opened. Beautiful. Have a look at that, blue skies. Beautiful. I'm not even joking, the weather we've just gone through was ridiculous. Lee's having the time of his life. I'm behind thinking, what on earth are we doing? But look at it now, sun's out. Lee's topping up the tan, he said. Good to go. Thanks for that, Lee, legend.
Thanks for coming out, G.
I mean, I don't know why everyone was bailing. Look at that blue sky. And to be honest, I was definitely just cruising along before Lee turned up and then saved the day, and he was giving it beans. And I was like thinking, oh, I was definitely loafing. And he upped the ante on me. Look at that face. Pigs in
It's for breakfast.
His favourite conditions. So that is 4 hours complete, and it was miserable weather out there. I was absolutely filthy, covered in mud. The Rocket is not happy about that. But it's time to refuel now. I always preach about this on my channel, like, make sure you're eating enough. I'm always trying to fuel up, fuel my rides, and today it just didn't happen. And that's mainly because it is sometimes, it's like, I think it's the worst thing about base training in the winter, getting the long endurance rides in. It's so hard to get in your back pocket and eat when everything's wet, you're soaked through. I know it's a rubbish excuse, but you need to force yourself to do it, because I've come back and I feel a bit of a shell from 2 4-hour rides. So I'm fueling up. I've got some, like, a hell of a lot of peanut butter, some chocolate, on some oats, and thankfully the Rocket is baking, because I was going to say to her, I need to go to the bakery or something. It just ruins the rest of the day, because you end up moping about feeling sorry for yourself. But it's lesson learned, but it's so hard to do it in the winter when it's that horrible weather. Look at that, recovery and refuel is going well. The sandwich, the size of your head, and the Rocket's made, is it banana cake? Yeah. Oh, finally a bit of cake. I've been absolutely worked to the bone today. I made a fundamental mistake. I think every bloke has done this in their life. You see the wife doing the cleaning, and you know she's going to give you that speech tonight. I'm the backbone of this house. I hear it at least twice a day. So I thought, you know what, I'll do the gentlemanly thing. I'll say, do you need any help? Thinking she's gonna say, don't worry, babe, you've had a tough bike ride today. You relax on the sofa. No, she took me up on the offer. And I've been cleaning. Oh, God. But we've got cake now. Was it banana cake with Biscoff on? Banana cake and Biscoff, so normality has returned and I'm going to sit here and enjoy my cake. So rest day for me today after a big weekend. That was 2 back-to-back 4-hour rides, which is probably my biggest weekend this year in terms of duration on the bike. But as a rest day, I'm trying to take my rest day seriously this year. Like last year, I'd use it as a chance to go in the gym and work out and stuff, but I've been roped into cooking dinner, so we're gonna have meatball. What are we having? Meatballs? Meatballs, spaghetti. What's the tank training today? What have you got on the agenda? Lower. Beefcake mode for the rocket in the gym. She doesn't want to say lower. She's not a meathead. What are you training? Glutes. She training that booty. But I don't know about anyone else. When I'm on rest day, I'm an absolute machine at eating food. And I think that is purely because as well, yesterday's absolute bonk or not fueling well enough that I've been eating like a tank today. So a big old refeed and we're in the gym again tomorrow morning. However, I did get up this morning because on rest day, I still get up at the same time, which the rocket tells me is mad, but it's routine and my body's like ingrained into it. I've done some stretching. I'm not gonna absolute talk waffle that I stretch all the time. I only ever do it on rest days to kill the hour I've got before work. But I just do it, watch some YouTube videos. But gym session tomorrow, I'll overlay it now. I don't know if people even care what I'm doing in the gym, but I've got double kettlebell front squats, I'm using dumbbells, some dual kettlebell swings, loading up there, hamstrings, just working on my lower body strength. Then I've got a little bit of ab stuff, just like an L-sit tuck hold. Some bench press to hit those beach muscles. I think as a prediction, I can safely say, before I've even bench pressed tomorrow morning, that I will not be going to World's Strongest Man anytime soon, because that is going to be the most pathetic bench press you have ever seen. And some banded chin-ups, because I'm a bit weak at the moment and can't do them without a band because my noodly little arms. But I'm just trying to keep up with this tank who's going in the gym now. We'll have a rocket takeover one day and she'll show you her gym session. Bums, tums and... Bums and tums with a rocket.
Bums and tums?
Bums and tums? I thought that's what it was. No? Just bums?
Okay, that was actually punchy.
Oh!
If you want some, I'll give it you.
Absolutely mega session, that one. The weights don't look like much, but for me that was a big step in the right direction progress wise. I was feeling fresh after yesterday's rest day, so pushed the weights on a bit and felt pretty good actually. Felt a little bit stronger than the twiddly little cyclist I normally am. So back on the bike post rest day and legs are actually feeling good, even though I hit them pretty hard this morning anyway for me in that gym session. I think it's where, like, when I'm having a rest day this year, I've been making sure I actually fully rest and do nothing, like, apart from work, like, just chill and rest, rather than, like, last year I was trying to squeeze in a gym session that day and stuff like that, and then you're not actually resting. Like, I was seeing it as, oh, I'm resting off the bike, but you're not fully resting. So just spinning over to meet up with the old man, and we're gonna hit 2.5 hours on the road. It was meant to be a 2-hour 30 mountain bike endurance ride, but after that mud fest on Sunday with Lee, I just didn't fancy getting dirty, so mixed it up and gonna get 2.5 hours on the road in. Here he is, the champion. Let me explain why he's the champion at the moment. Because if you didn't see my last video, on Monday I was speaking to Dad and he was cutting about like the world champ after he dropped fully dispatched Ben on Saturday, and his response was, I wasn't even at 100%. Little mic drop, bit of swagger, off he walks. You cannot tame this man. How did it feel dusting Ben to one side, showing him who was boss?
Still got it.
Still got it. Dad's going to be dusting off the cobwebs for the TTs this year. Goodwood time trials, he's coming for you. There she is. There's the road where Saturday's magic took place. I'm on high alert today so he doesn't attack me. All this training he's been doing with me recently, he's flying. Mega ride that, absolutely spot on. 2.5 hours endurance. There's a few surges in there because you know what it's like when you ride with someone else. Dad gets a bit excited sometimes. But vegan shepherd's pie about to go down. That is going to slide down, but legs were feeling really good, especially after gym this morning and everything. It just proves that sometimes you do need rest days, and I need to get that in my head rather than just like thinking, oh, it's time to do a gym session instead. But back tomorrow in the gym, so I'll see you in the morning. I'm not even sure if you can see me because I'm in the dungeon that is the gym / pain cave. So morning gym session complete this morning, working on power, strength, still lower body stuff. Just like I said in the other little clips, just trying to get as strong as possible off the bike. Loads of single leg work, loads of explosive power work, a bit of plyometrics, just trying to build that strength and power. And then this afternoon we are on the what bike? We're on the indoor trainer. It has been a while since I've been on this, but I've only got like an hour session to do today, and to be honest I was just lazy and I thought, do I want to get all kitted up in the winter kit? I mean, it's not that cold today to do an hour, and it looked like it was going to rain and I was making loads of excuses, so I just thought I'll get it done on the turbo. And no surprise, it is nothing interesting. It is just zone 2 stuff, a little bit of upper zone 2, lower, like switching between the two, and each interval I'm trying to just hold 70 RPM, which is a bit lower than what I'm used to, just getting a bit of work in at a lower cadence. It's nothing like majorly low, but a little bit lower than what I'm used to. But also it gets the rocket off my back because she's always like, you said you were going to use that watt bike loads, you've hardly been on it. And that is true, but it's there when I need it. That's the important thing. And my big mental block with the indoor trainer is I'm more than happy, like if someone said to me do 4 hours zone 2 on the trainer, completely fine. If someone says do a hard turbo session like intervals or VO2 max work, I'm like, no, I need to do it outside. I just don't like suffering when there's nothing to take my mind off it. I'm terrible. You're like looking at the clock and time just stands still, but I need to get better at that this year. When I'm given an interval session to do on the trainer, actually do it, rather than like last year, a lot of the time I'd end up doing it outside and making up some excuse why I couldn't go on the trainer. That is session complete. I ended up rounding it up to 90 minutes, get a little bit of extra zone 2 in there. I am in charge of dinner tonight. We've got tofu, sweet and sour, that I'm cooking while the rocket's working out. And the hardest part of these videos is probably thinking of a title for them, because I've been editing this one and essentially it's just my training. Now I'm nothing special, it's not like you're witnessing Tom Pidcock's training. I'm sure it'd be much more appealing, but I did mention in this one, in the first thing, the worst things about base training being like getting muddy and not being able to eat and then not fueling well enough for your ride. So I'm probably going to clickbait this one with like the worst things about base training. And for me as well, the other thing that I struggle with is seeing what everyone else is doing. Like for me now, this is really important to get like a big chunk of hours in the bike, build the aerobic base, blah blah blah. But you see people starting to hit up races and you're like, oh god, am I doing the right thing, blah blah blah. But you've just got to trust that you're on the right path and your time to start racing is in a bit, because you can't really see progress when you're doing your base stuff. You can sort of see your heart rate dropping when you're doing zone 2 stuff and bits like that, but majority of the time you don't know, am I getting any fitter? But you gotta wait for your time to get super fit and hit up some races. So that for me, and the getting bloody filthy in the UK winter, is what the worst things about base training are. And dinner is served perfection, if you ask me. How was your gym workout?
Fine.
Fine. What did you do?
Legs.
Legs. Shock. So I'm gonna wrap this one up here. I hope you've enjoyed my training and also the worst things about base training. And what have they got to do, Rocket?
Subscribe.
Subscribe. You heard it from the lady's mouth. Subscribe. But I hope you've enjoyed the video and I'll catch you in the next one.